Alright, we're live. Hello. Hey guys, Blackwell here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Fallout 76. And what we're going to be doing is talking about why to have a positive perspective towards this game. Ultimately, there's been a lot of criticism in the first opening weeks through the beta, you know, through the rest of the whole cycle so far from the game. What I'd like to bring some sort of light on is some of the positives that is coming out of Bethesda's camp in recent weeks. So I've got some bullet points and stuff here. So what we've seen so far is a glorious sandbox game, which is what Bethesda are known for doing. They've done it with Oblivion. Skyrim was essentially the first game on this engine, and that did really well. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, which obviously is pretty much what the level of ability we've got here is pretty much Fallout 4. Okay, so we know that Bethesda can make really good open worlds, and that's what they've been working on. You know, since Fallout 4 came out, perfecting to the extent that they can, perfecting the landscapes and the lighting and stuff like that. I'm over encumbered, I didn't realise that. So that's what they've been working on offline. Now, obviously, the servers need to be online. People need to be playing the game before Bethesda can get to work on balancing what mechanics are overpowered and what aren't. So melee attack at the moment is overpowered. Laser or energy weapons, they say, is it's underpowered at the moment. But if everything's radiated anyway, like all the enemies, they're probably going to be resistant to that kind of thing. But you know, it's another point where I suppose it's a moot point if energy weapons aren't very powerful. So sandbox world basically is what they've been working on. So you know, you've got to now give Bethesda time to work on the online mechanics and balancing and finding out what works and what doesn't work. You know, PvP. A lot of people have been talking about PvP and that it's available now. It's not really available now. There's no game mode in this game that's sort of dedicated PvP. So, you know, once they've started building the mechanics for it and balancing the game as well as they can. Oh, hello. Then, yeah, okay, then they can start bringing out dedicated PvP and so on and sort of implementing that kind of stuff. But for now, it doesn't really work and it doesn't really apply. So let's focus on what does apply. So what have we got? Yes, there are glitches and there are bugs. Right, the game has glitches, it has bugs. I'm sure if I look at these boys for too long, they're going to bug out. Probably. Maybe not, because I'm asking them to. It's fine, whatever. But it's beyond that. If you look beyond that, if you look through the glitches and what the hell's that? That's there. If you look beyond the glitches and the bugs, you've actually got a really enjoyable game. Now, people have also been complaining about, oh, it's boring. Oh, there's no story. It's like, well, okay. If there's no story, then what are all the holotapes around the land? What are all the terminals? What is all that stuff? What is all the lore? Lore is story. Story is lore. It's the same thing. So, yeah, I dismiss that really with a pinch of salt when people say that. There either is a story and it's boring, or there's no story. You can't have both. So people who are saying there's a story in the game and it's boring, then okay, fair enough. And then there are other people saying there's no story, but there are people who are saying both. And it's like, well, that literally is a contradiction. So think about what you're saying before you say it. It's basically, you know, another point there. It's a brand new concept for Bethesda. Now, they've made Elder Scrolls Online. They made that with ZeniMax, right? You can't just discard that as it never happened, because it did happen. And they were working on it. They've been working on it for about 4 years now. And the amount of content that they've got for that game it's truly overwhelming. I've been playing it over the summer. And I can't make head or tail of a lot of it. Like Alliance Wars and Battlegrounds and stuff, I don't know. Because I'm 4 years late to the party, I don't know what's going on. If I turned up on day one, yeah, it may be a lot easier, a lot clearer. So this is day one, or this is month one, maybe month two of Fallout 76. In a couple of years' time, there's going to be content out there that's just going to drive you, like... It'll just be overwhelming. Let's just put it that way. It'll drive a lot of people insane. You know, newcomers will be like, I don't know what to do with all this content. But it'll drive a lot of people as well. Like, it'll be like, oh yeah, new content, patch updates and stuff like that, and it brings hype to the game again and again and again. And I think that's really exciting, to be totally honest. The Legends system at the moment, it's not that great, but we're still really early on in the game. Have we got any Legends that we're carrying at the moment? Yeah, we've got one. It's a level 1 melee weapon. Okay, you're loud, boy. Alright, chill. You're dead now. So it's a level 1 melee weapon. Now you can get up to level 5 melee. Legendary. Okay, so that's 5 separate effects. We're playing around with like 1s and 2s at the moment at this level. What character build are we? So we're level 39. Yeah, so we're touching on level 40. And we're only picking up legendary weapons with 1 or maybe 2 effects. Mainly melee weapons and armor. But if you consider what could be on the horizon, weapons and armor are capped at level 50. Enemies are capped at what, level 99? So there's obviously a disparity there. With DLC coming out, the game is going to want you to push into that DLC. So it's going to want you to level up further and further and further. I know there are triple figure players out there, but if you think about it, weapons won't be capped at level 50 for long. They just won't. And legends with 5 effects on them, they could be like... You could get some really crazy stuff out there if random is what we expect, you know? Yeah, alright, Loudy. So if you think about it, if everyone gets the same legendary, and it's a level 5 legendary, and everyone gets the same one, that could be quite boring. Like the Somerset special, everyone's got it.
I am strongest supplant.
But if you can get like a choose your own legendary, or it's completely random, then just think about what the market could do for that. Like the in-game market. Like, oh, you've got that legend, no, I'll trade you with that. It's PvP trading, I guess. And that'd be really, really interesting. And that's just one element of the game, you know? Like, what about all the vaults opening up and all the DLC? I say DLC, you know, it could be like patches are DLC, aren't they? Patches are DLC nowadays, they're downloadable. We have no stimpaks. That's not good. So there's that as well. Vaults opening, additional content, additional enemies. I don't think Scorch Beast is the end game enemy for this at all. I think that's the base game enemy. You know, the end game, the base end game enemy, I suppose. But there are going to be things that come out that make the Scorch Beast look like an absolute nothing. Like, consider the DLC from Fallout 4. There are enemies in that make the base game look like puppy dogs. So I think the same will happen of 76. So yeah. Anyway, we're looking to take over this airport here. So if you think about it, enemies, weapons, armor, environments, like vaults and stuff like that, dungeons I'd call them, they're all looking to be brought into the game more so. What else have we got here? So online mechanics, they're being balanced. There's no point adding new mechanics if the current ones don't work. So there's no point bringing out 12v12 PvP if PvP in itself doesn't work yet. So they'll be working on that stuff in patches and updates. Support plus updates, like Elder Scrolls Online, you get loads and loads of patches, loads and loads of maintenance sessions just to improve the game continuously. That's what Bethesda do. They are a company that listens to the community, whether it's good or bad. They listen to all feedback. So they don't just listen to the feedback, they take it on board and apply it. Now, obviously, a good example of that is the stash weight, which got increased today. Obviously, the community wanted that, and they got it. So that's one example. There's more on the way, like Field of View. That's coming in for PC again. And there are other things as well. So there's that as well. And then early access. That was a conversation that people had as well about how the game shouldn't have been in beta. It should have been early access. But if you consider a AAA title that goes into early access with a story narrative, it's not really going to work because people will rush to the end of the story and then spoil it for people who didn't get early access. And then that will obviously diminish sales as well from Bethesda's perspective. So Yeah, there's a lot of arguments there to have about, you know, oh, should it have been in beta? Should it have been early access? Should they have waited a year before they released? Well, if they did that, if they did release it, yes, the landscape would look more lush and it wouldn't look so sort of texturized as it is. The world would still be just as big, but the online problems would still be there because they haven't got the players online to sort out that and balance it out. So that's pretty much where I believe Bethesda's at. I'm out of health, so I'm probably going to die in a minute. But I'm going to take on this this settlement here and get my ass handed to me, and they'll die and they'll go offline. And there we go. So take care. Peace and love to you and yours. I'm Blackwell. This is my attempt at a live Twitch feed, which is going to basically be turned into a YouTube video because I am at the end of my tether with editing YouTube videos. It's so small and finicky just to get the audio and the video all lined up and synchronized, and I can't be asked for that. So I'm going to make these YouTube videos from Twitch videos now. So you might see me online at an unusual time on Twitch, and that's cool. This is what it is. This is what I'll be doing. So take care of yourself. Peace and love to you and yours. And I'll catch you 10 AM till 6 PM GMT on Twitch. Take care. I'm at the door. See you later. I'm going to go kill these super mutants now. So we'll see you later.